married to my wife for 12 years. She's 38, and I'm 40. We have two daughters, 9 and 6 years old. We knew each other before we got married. We had common friends. I asked her out on a date one day when I found out that she was single, and we started dating. She became my girlfriend, and a few months later, we got married. We got along most of the time, and in the beginning, I liked her crazy and wild side, but I thought she drank too much. I didn't see this as much of an issue at first. I was an introvert, so you know how the saying goes, opposite attract. So I thought, here's what I knew a year ago. Our marriage was good, no big issues. The only thing we argued about is me needing to help more with house chores. She always gets too drunk when we are out socially. She eats insanely healthy and exercise every day. Some say too much. I had issues with her girls' night out every weekend. She was missing our daughter's appointments and practices. About a year ago, I noticed that she was having mood swings and would go missing for hours, and I couldn't get in touch with her. When I pressed her on it, she tells me she has been talking to a therapist, that she just needed to talk to someone else. Then a few weeks later, she starts crying and tells me she's bulimic, and she has been since she was 16 years old. She never told anyone. I have known her for 12 years, and all those times, she has never told me this. Her unhealthy eating habits, constantly throwing up and drinking, and excessive exercises should have clued me to it. I reacted with passion, understanding, love, and told her we would get through this together. So here I am, thinking to myself, whoa, I can't believe this part of me was upset about the line. But once I got past that, I just wanted to help her and thought this is going to be the hardest thing our marriage will ever go through. Boy, was I wrong. Then a few months later, we went out, and as she often does, she got a little too drunk. So, as I have done hundreds of times before, I helped her get to bed, and as I was doing that, her phone buzzed. As I was taking it to plug it in one of her night table, I noticed the buzz was a notification from Snapchat, an app I had no idea she was using. For what possible reasons would she be using an app like that? So, naturally, curiosity got the best of me, and I walked downstairs with her phone and began to snoop. Now, this next part is really where I think my understanding and belief in reality was forever altered. I found on her phone that she had been talking to dozens of random guys on Snapchat, sending naked pictures of herself, having conversations bashing me, getting lots of naked pictures from random guys, insane sexting, and I saw it all. Now, if you're thinking that's horrible, this is where it gets really bad. Within one of the exchange on Snapchat with one of these random guys, she referenced being sexually assaulted at a bar in the last few months. So here I am, my world unraveling in front of my eyes, and I have to wait for the longest hours of my life to talk to her about it because she was so blackout drunk. She wouldn't have been able to have a conversation if I had woken her up when I found it. When she eventually woke up, I had so many questions. Being a good husband and a protector of my loved ones, first of my concern was the sexual assault, and then my questions about cheating on Snapchat. She said the sexual assault happened during a girl's night out, and she was so drunk and didn't have her wits about her, and he was hitting on her throughout the night, and then at the end of the night, she went outside with him. He kissed her, and she told him she just wanted to go home. He promised to drive her home, but instead, he drove her to the parking lot and sexually assaulted her, and then dropped her off at our house. The last thing she remembered was getting in his car. And then the next day, she went to the doctor and got tested, and everything is okay. But she doesn't remember anything about the sexual assault. But she said she had bruises on her arm and was sore, so she knew it happened. Then we talked about the cheating online on Snapchat, and she said that was a result of going crazy after the sexual assault. I bought this, all hook, line, and sinker. I felt there was more to the story, but fell for her crying and didn't want to push her on it. I really thought she was remorseful. I was upset that she couldn't come to me about this. At this point, I felt like I didn't really know my wife. I also felt like it was all my fault. I woke up early the next morning. I contemplated divorcing her, but I am scared to go the divorce route because I live for my kids. I couldn't imagine a world where I wasn't with them every day. I felt trapped, so I decided that we should stay together. And obviously, she would stop the Snapchat thing. For the next month, you would have thought we were just married. So happy, so intimate. Everything was great. Then, not even a month later, boom, it happened again, like Groundhog Day. I am finding all this Snapchat stuff. She gets drunk. Her phone buzzes with Snapchat notification. I look and find that she never stopped cheating on Snapchat. This is not going to be the same drill as last time. I couldn't take this any longer. As she was passed out drunk on the couch, I was done playing nice, felt like I had been betrayed. So I dragged her out of the couch and carried her to the balcony, laid her on the floor of the balcony in compromising position, and took some pictures of her laying there. This was going to be my evidence when I fight for primary custody of my daughters. I expect that she will not play nice if I try to divorce her, so I need to line my ducks in a row. I couldn't continue to put myself and my kids through this. There were multiple times when she forgot to pick up my kids from school or from practice because she was passed out drunk. I had endured this torture long enough. I am used to the drinking and I have nursed her through many crises. But this Snapchat thing, the affairs, bashing me to strangers, missing my kids' appointments, the multiple girls' night outs, and hours of missing is the last straw. It's about time I come to realize that my sweet wife and mother of my 2 children's true character is a cheat and a raging alcoholic. She woke up the next morning on the balcony and started banging for me to open the door, waking up the neighbors and my kids. I let her into the house and told her I would be filing for separation. I had evidence of her affair on Snapchat, and she continued her affair with multiple random guys, like nothing happened from the first time I caught her. She started crying, saying it wouldn't happen again. I told her yes, that it wouldn't happen again because me and my kids cannot continue to be ignored. I have evidence to prove that she had been sending nude photos to strange guys on social media and had met them on several occasions. The following day, I went and spoke to a lawyer. I have collected plenty of proof over the years that she's a raging alcoholic and it is harmful to my children. The missed appointments, failing to pick them up from school and practice because she's drunk or getting hammered by some stranger or whatever. Who knows? I am going for sole legal and physical custody of my kids. Her mom lives on the outskirts of town and I notified her of everything she had done. Her dad and mom separated a while ago because he was an alcoholic as well. I see the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Although she seemed to be a good mom and a wife when she's not drunk, that is not an excuse because I am convinced that it's all an act because she had carried on an affair with random men when she wasn't drunk. She sent nude photos to these strange men when she wasn't drunk, so she's fully aware of what she's doing. Apparently, her mom called her and chewed her up because she came home and yelled at me about it, accusing me of lining up everyone against her because I got her mom involved. We are currently sleeping in separate rooms. She said she was going to enroll in AA and is currently talking to a therapist and that I should have patience with her and she's dealing with a lot of issues. She said that I know that she's bulimic and I can't abandon her now that she needs me the most. I told her that she definitely needs help and she should use this opportunity to get help. And she's not a good influence to my daughters. I reminded her she's following the footsteps of her dad. Why my kids watch it all? I don't want my kids to follow in her footsteps. She deleted Snapchat right in front of me and all her social media, but I wasn't buying it this time. As much as I tried to accept her back, I promised myself to never fall for her crying. What stops her from using a backup phone and using secret messaging apps? I can't continue to play detective. I can't monitor her and raise my kids as well. I can't be the only adult here. It's exhausting. A week later, I followed through with the divorce papers and I served her at home. She refused to sign the divorce papers and told me she would fight me in court all the way. She said that I was abusive to her and the kids and said that if I don't give her a third chance, she would never grant me an amicable divorce. I knew I couldn't fall for her manipulative techniques this time. I am not going to give up because I am not only fighting for myself and freedom, I am fighting for my kids as well. At every moment during this process, I always thought about taking her back. It's an eternal struggle. It's out of character not to forgive her. I never said no to her before, and she knows it. But I have been getting support from sites like this and advice from strangers. I don't trust my instinct. I don't trust my emotions. And as much as I miss my wife and the good moments, I know I have to follow through on this. I have to separate myself and my kids from this. We hired a lawyer, and her lawyer tried to settle out of court. She wanted share custody, 50-50 split of assets, almost like the alcohol and cheating didn't happen. But I declined. I have read so many blog post threads this past week to understand that her behavior is mental and she can easily unwind it. I can't imagine leaving her alone, drunk with my daughters. I don't want to expose them to random men that she will be hanging around with. I have documented evidence of her mental issues, including putting herself in a position to be allegedly sexually assaulted, bulimic, alcoholism, affairs, nude pictures, text messages. That paints a very bad picture of her. I may have gone a little too far and out of my character to paint her as a bad parent, and I felt bad doing it. It was almost like an out-of-body experience, but I'm done playing nice. All my life I've always played by the rules, and look at where it got me. I have evidence of missed appointments and sworn statements from teachers and practice coaches. In court, she claimed I was abusive to her and my kids, and that all the evidence I have against her was fabricated. But she had no proof. I was hoping that not playing nice would give her the opportunity to seek the help she needed. The judge gave her supervised visitation, made me the primary custodian. As a condition of custody arrangement, she had to attend AA and provide regular updates on her progress. I was lucky that the judge saw right through her lies, and he understood that my daughters may be endangered by predatory men that prey on single mothers with daughters, especially an alcoholic, an insecure one that puts herself in position to be sexually assaulted. I am not victim blaming because I don't believe it happened the way she said it did. Maybe the sexual assault didn't happen and she used it as an excuse, but all the same, at the end, it worked to my favor because the judge felt like I thought. Because she was drunk, she put herself in that position. And if she would let herself go like that in public, what would happen when she's given an unsupervised visit with my daughters? She really shot herself in the foot if her story was untrue, and I got everything that I wanted. Her mom was also closer to us and helped out with babysitting since I don't have any family members in close proximity. Thanks for staying to the end of this video. Please like and subscribe. Feel free to express your opinion on the comment section. Thank you and have a